Tonight's Raw put in a lot of work toward building the card for Extreme Rules on September 26th. RK Bros' next set of challenge RKO Bros' next set of challengers for the Raw Tag Team titles was determined through a Tag Team Turmoil match that included Veer and Jinder Mahal, Mason T-Bar, Mustafa Ali and Mansoor, the Viking Raiders, AJ Styles and Omos, the New Day, and Lucha House Party. After both men fell short against Damian Priest last week, Sheamus and Drew McIntyre fought in a number one contenders match to see who would challenge the Archer of Infamy at the pay-per-view. Charlotte Flair put the Raw Women's Championship on the line against Nia Jax. Reggie battled Akira Tozawa for the 24/7 title, and Nikki ASH teamed up with Rhea Ripley to face Women's Tag Team Champions Natalya and Tamina. Let's take a look at everything that happened on tonight's Raw, for this is Ridiculously Raw. Welcome, everybody, to Ridiculously Raw, the most must-see show on YouTube and StreamYard.com today. I am your host, Anthony Florio, joined as always by good old MF Michael Fletcher, the phenom Michael Bullock, fresh off another one of our legendary Raw chats, and, of course, the First Lady of the Wrestling Forum, the Twisted Angel, Dee Dee Woodson. Monday Night Raw on this Labor Day night, live from the FTX Arena, formerly the American Airlines Arena in Miami, Florida, the home of the Heat. And we started it off with an in-ring segment. It was RK Bro, the tag team champions, coming out and they cut a promo, and then it led into the tag team Turmoil match, which was very unique in this case, and I'll explain in a moment. First two teams were the New Day and the Viking Raiders. New Day won that match in an even 10 minutes. Jinder Mahal and Veer, Kofi and Xavier won that in 7 minutes and 15 seconds. Total of 17:15. And then the Lucha House Party, New Day won that 4 minutes and 35 seconds. Total of 21:50. And then Mason T-Bar were next. Kofi and Xavier won that in 9 minutes and 25 seconds, taking it to 30 minutes and 15 seconds. But Mason T-Bar wreaked so much havoc that they had to stop the match and continue the match later in the night. So, all right. For the promo, I get the idea of striking while the iron is hot with Orton and Riddle, but WWE really needs to take whatever time they dedicate to Orton chasing Lashley to creating new stars in the singles and tag divisions. They're off to a solid start with Damian Priest, but one guy's only going to get them so far. And, and as far as what happened in the Tag Team Turmoil match goes, great action. I mean, starting off a 3-hour show with almost an hour of pure professional wrestling is the best thing WWE has done in months. The quick promos before the match helped make the tag titles feel important and helped reestablish Raw's competitive tag team division. A lot of talent in this division, and it was great to see it highlighted in such a strong way. Each team had their moment to shine, and we'll get into the rest of the match. New Day clearly had the best showing. Mason T-Bar looked dangerous for the first time. The Viking Raiders looked great. Lucha House Party had some fun spots, and a couple of different feuds were addressed at the same time. But we'll get into the rest of the match a little bit later on. But I don't know really how to rate it, to be honest with you. But based on what we saw for action, I would have to say somewhere around 3.5 to 4 stars for the early portion of this. And another thing that came out of this, Randy Orton, during that in-ring segment, Randy Orton challenged Bobby Lashley. Well, Bobby Lashley wanted a match with Randy Orton, but Randy said, on one condition, I want the WWE Championship. And then MVP on behalf of Bobby Lashley says, you're on. but it's going to be at Extreme Rules. So a lot to make out of this. So MF, a lot to make out of this. The first hour dominated by Tag Team Turmoil, and on top of that, Lashley and Orton WWE Championship at Extreme Rules. You wanted it, you got it.
Yeah, this was a very, very good way to start Monday Night Raw. The Tag Team Turmoil going an hour long, and the thing is that I actually do not mind the Mason T-Bar incident causing the stoppage of the match. You don't want to throw all the bullets out there. I actually don't mind this. This actually was a good payoff. To have a match stop where it was, freeze the action, and kudos to Sonya Deville and to Adam Pearce by saying that no, we're not going to end it this way. We're going to let the teams rest. The two teams that were supposed to start it, which was the New Day and Mustafa Ali and Mansoor, stop it here. We'll come back with this. We'll give you time to recuperate because that was a savagery beatdown. And actually, I did not mind that happening. So I did not mind the beatdown. I thought it was fine for what it was worth. And then from there, pick it up where they left off. Anthony, to really be honest here, I would say no rating to this, and then let the second half come in. Now, this would be my suggestion. You don't have to do it. You could always, because you are the host. But what I would suggest is hold off on the rating. Hold the rating off here. Once we get the actual conclusion, lump the two together, and we'll have one overall rating of the Tag Team Turmoil match.
I like that. That sounds good.
All right.
Let's do that.
So we'll do it that way. So for all you fans that are wondering what's the rating for Tag Team Turmoil, hold on. We'll get it. You'll get it tonight. We're just going to have to wait because remember, there was an interlude. There was a stoppage along the way. So because of Mason T-Bar, we have to call the first fight right now. But Anthony's absolutely right. This was 4 stars. Going into that second half, this was 4 stars. So we still got some work to do. We're not there yet. But I'll tell you right now, Fight of the Night is definitely on the table. And a very, very high rating is on the table right now. As of now, I'm with Florio. This is 4. But like we said, there is a second half. Does that make it drop a little? Does that make it go higher? You're just going to have to wait and find out. But right now, we hold at 4. Mike Bullock, it's yours, man. I got to say it. I know a lot of people are giving a lot of love and a lot of things about AEW and everything else. And WWE had to do something. I got to tell you, the first hour of Monday Night Raw was very entertaining, and I was very happy with WWE at the beginning of the night.
Yeah, I mean, the first hour of Monday Night Raw was definitely very good. And like you said, I mean, they had to respond to what AEW, what they did for their all-out pay-per-view last night. And this was definitely a good way to start it off with this Tag Team Turmoil. And yeah, I'm with you. I mean, as of right now, I'm giving Tag Team Turmoil 4 stars, but that's the rating as of right now. But we'll give you the overall rating once we get to the second half of the Tag Team Turmoil. And I'm with Fletch. I didn't mind Mason T-Bar did because, look, I mean, with all the teams they had in the Tag Team Turmoil, I mean, putting it on for this long wouldn't make any sense. So, good call by Sonya Deville, basically saying, you know what, we're not ending it here. We're going to let the teams rest, and we'll come back and we'll finish up later on in the night. And as far as the promo goes, I thought it was a good promo, and yeah, I mean, Bobby Lashley challenged Orton to a match, and Orton says, as long as you put the title on the line, and yep, it's going to go down now at Extreme Rules. So Orton has a chance to add another title to his resume, but it won't be easy against the almighty Bobby Lashley. So, well, he got the first leg up last week on him. Will he continue that momentum? We'll just have to wait and see on it. So, nothing else to say. Dee Woodson, it is yours.
Yeah, the promo that was a good start. Definitely storyline progression going on there, getting us ready for pay-per-view. Tag team turmoil. I'm not going to make any comments on it right now because, we still have a second half to go. So I'm not even going to attempt to rate the first part of it because I'm going to wait and rate it all at the end. So let's move on.
Yeah. Moving on to the number one contenders match for the United States Heavyweight Championship, Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus. The winner will challenge Damian Priest for the U.S. title at Extreme Rules. And the winner of the match, in 14 minutes and 50 seconds, it was Sheamus. Sheamus gets an opportunity to regain the title that he lost at SummerSlam to Damian Priest in what was by far the best Monday Night Raw match from SummerSlam. So MF, Sheamus wins 14-50, gets another shot at Priest, pulling the tights and getting the win, Mike.
I was waiting for that, Florio. I was waiting for you to say those magic words because that caused us to be not so happy with the ending of this match. Great match. Incredible battle. When it's Sheamus versus McIntyre, you know you're going to get fireworks. And you know you're going to get a great battle. And I'm going to say it. This was excellent. I was going to say, this was easily going to 3.5 to 3 3/4, but then the BS finish comes in, the pulling of the tights, the getting the win. It's a 3.5-star match. I gotta pull a little bit back on this rating because of the ending, but darn, if it wasn't for that, this would have been 3 3/4 teetering to 4. And another great battle between these two men. I think we can openly admit it. When these two guys get it on, it's money. Anytime Sheamus versus Drew go on, it's money. I am very excited to see Damian Priest versus Sheamus. Now this is one-on-one. There are no excuses. Yeah, you had McIntyre in the match the first time around. You could easily say that was a little bit of some bullfunnery. This is now Damian Priest's moment. Now can he do it again? Can he beat Sheamus one-on-one now with the United States Heavyweight title on the line? There is no more excuses. I'm sorry for my boy Drew. I'm very heartbroken that he lost, and I truly am, because he's a great, great, great talent. Frontline soldier, Monday Night Raw. Anthony, we already know that. Please, WWE draft, if this happens, bring him to the blue brand. We could use a guy like Drew McIntyre. I know Florio's like, oh, wait a minute, Fletcher. Hell no. You shut up right now. Don't you even think about starting to politic about the draft. Don't you even think about trying to commandeer my frontline soldier to your blue brand. Don't do that. Well, I just did, Florio. Deal with it. Anyway.
You already have one. He's called the Tribal Chief.
Yeah, well, hey, you know, there was a moment in the draft when you had Randy Orton and John Cena on SmackDown at the same time. Yeah, Cena went back to Raw at the end of the night, but imagine what could have happened if Cena and Orton both were on the blue brand. SmackDown would have won that draft. Even our lovely Dee Woodson one of the mascots of the crew, Tiger. Welcome, my friend. Okay. Sorry, Tiger. I didn't mean to spook you. There you go, Tiger. Yeah, he's trying to jump. He's trying to run. It's okay, bro. It's okay. We got you, man. We got you. It's all good. But anyway, so like I said, it's awesome. It's amazing. There's really nothing more to say. So great matchup, 3.5 stars. Bullock, I know you're probably going to be in agreement with me. If it wasn't for the ending, man, this could have been 4.
Yeah, I mean, if it weren't for that BS finish with the pulling of the tights, I would have given it a much higher rating. But I'm actually going to go 3.25 stars here. I mean, I can't go 3.5 just because of the pulling of the tights. And I'll tell you what, Dee Woodson, I'm sure Tiger would definitely want a piece of Sheamus right now for the way he won that match with the pulling of the tights. He would love to leave some cat marks on Sheamus's white tanned body if you know what I mean. So, but yeah, I mean, I would have loved to see a feud with Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre, but yeah, I feel bad for Drew, but hey, Drew got his payback at the end with the Claymore, so a little bit of some redemption, but and you know what? I mean, Damian Priest has got a chance to prove to the doubters, to the naysayers, that hey, what happened at SummerSlam was no fluke. That I can beat Sheamus again, especially with the U.S. title on the line, and that's going down at Extreme Rules. So yeah, there's really nothing more to say. 3.25 for me. I would have given it 3.5, but yeah, the pulling of the tights really left a bitter taste in the mouth. So nothing else to say. Dee Woodson, I think Tiger would love a nice little piece of Sheamus right now.
Yeah, if not him, then Callie, because I mean she didn't seem to like it either. So right now, that's who he's been staring at. Is Callie's over my shoulder on the floor, so he's been staring down at her. So yeah, I can agree with the rating. I mean, it was a really good match up till that tight pulling bit. So yeah. Next time Sheamus tries something like that, we're gonna unleash the hounds or the felines in this case. Let all of them go at him. Right, Tiger? Mr. Hyper? Are you Mr. Hyper?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks like Tiger is really hyper.
Yeah. He's trying to get his energy out before bed, so he's a little bouncy off the wall right now. So yeah, I'm gonna go let him go chase either Cinnamon or Callie because they're both on the floor back there. So we'll toss it over to Florio.
All right. Yes, indeed. 3.5 stars is my rating for this. I mean, the match was, as Big E would say, 2 big meaty men slapping meat. McIntyre and Sheamus may have had one too many matches over the past year, but they never disappoint with their efforts. Sheamus and McIntyre being so familiar with each other is part of what makes them a great combination, but it also has a lot to do with how quick and agile both men are for 2 guys who are known as powerhouses. They are more versatile than a lot of superstars who are that size. This was fun from start to finish. That's 2 great performances in a row for these guys after last week's epic triple threat with Damian Priest. So not much more to say there. 3.5 stars. And then from there, we had a women's tag team championship contenders match. We had the tag team champions, Natalya and Tamina, squaring off against Rhea Ripley and Nikki ASH. Winners of the match in roughly 10 minutes, Rhea Ripley and Nikki ASH. Well, I see we may have lost Bullock for a moment. Just waiting for Bullock to come back in. While we await for that, Dee Dee Woodson, we'll just start with you and your latest guest here. So roughly 10 minutes, but it looks like we have a championship committee moment here. Well, hold on. We got Bullock back.
All right.
All right, Bullock's back in. We lost him for a moment, so Dee Dee, we'll put you on hold for a moment. We'll give it to Bullock because it was supposed to be his turn. So, Michael Bullock, Nikki ASH, Rhea Ripley, they win the match in roughly 10 minutes, and I got to ask the question: championship committee moment?
Yeah, I say it was a championship committee moment. Yeah, first off, apologies for leaving because well, I hit a button that I wasn't supposed to hit. So yeah, I'll just leave it at that. And yeah, that was it's definitely a championship committee moment. I'll give it about 3 stars for the rating. I mean, yeah, I think definitely this puts Rhea Ripley and Nikki ASH in line for a shot at the women's tag team titles, and yeah, I mean, I could also see that going down at Extreme Rules, but we'll wait and see on that. So there's really nothing more for me to say. Dee Dee Woodson, it's yours, and that's got to be Cinnamon, right?
Mm-hmm. That's Cinnamon.
Yeah. What does Cinnamon think? Does Cinnamon agree about the championship committee moment?
Yeah. Right now he's a cuddle bug, so yeah, he definitely agrees with the committee moment. Yeah, I'll give it about the same rating. I mean, it was a fairly good match, and yeah, it's definitely a championship committee moment. So yeah, they deserve their shot to go for the championship. So yeah, not much more I'm going to add. It's yours, Floyo.
Yeah. Trying to find my notes. Yes. The odd couple dynamic between Nikki and Ripley could develop into something interesting, but it is far from that point. Right now, they are a random duo who feel disconnected. The match itself was all right, and some of the double team moves with Ripley using Nikki as a weapon were creative. It just lacked any urgency. There was no guaranteed title shot for Ripley and Nikki if they won, and there isn't much of a feud behind this match. But at least it looks like Ripley and Nikki will be in the running for a women's tag title shot. So, but they announced it as a championship contenders match. So they're probably going to get a shot at it. I don't know if it'll be at Extreme Rules or remember Friday night we got a Super SmackDown, which they said Raw superstars were going to be on that, and who knows? Maybe we could get a women's tag team title match in the Garden. We'll have to wait and find out. But for right now, 2.5. About 2.5 to 3 for this one. So not much more to say. MF, Rhea and Nikki, they get the win. Sounds like we got a championship committee moment here.
Well, here's the thing, Floyo. If you really think about it, we actually have a possible triple threat on our hands. Because also on SmackDown, you got to also remember Tegan Nox and Shotzi Blackheart also have won multiple contenders matches. So it's very possible now that you got 2 tag teams that can lay claim to a possible shot at the WWE Women's Tag Team titles. So either you have, and now here's where we might get an interesting situation. Either one, you have both tag teams, Tegan Nox and Shotzi Blackheart, and Nikki ASH and Rhea Ripley go at it for a true number 1 contenders match. And then the winner of that fights Natalya and Tamina for the titles. Or maybe because of Madison Square Garden, why not up the stakes? Triple threat. Put both tag teams, the one from Raw, the one from SmackDown, the 2 contenders, fight with the champions, and have all 6 of them go at it for the WWE Women's Tag Team titles and have one and decide it right then and there. I mean, who needs Who needs Extreme Rules? Let's just decide it right now. Do it in Madison Square Garden. Do it in New York City. Let this show be as big as it needs to be. Why not? Both teams can lay claim to the title because they both have gotten big wins over the tag champs. Why not? Let's do it. I'm for it. 2.5 to 3 is my rating for the match. Florio, it's yours.
All right. All right. It took a little bit, but we finally have some cutout stuff here. Hard to believe. There was a pre-taped segment earlier in the day. Pre-taped Moist TV. John Morrison, his guest was Karrion Kross, and it led into a match with Karrion Kross and John Morrison. Karrion Kross defeats John Morrison in 2 minutes and 5 seconds with the cross jacket submission. This is how Karrion Kross should have been booked from the moment he arrived on Monday Night Raw. This was a dominant performance that made him look more dangerous than all of his previous matches on the main roster. The bout was short by design, so it didn't have a chance to include more than the one exciting spot. But from the standpoint of pushing Kross as a monster, it worked very well. So no rating there. Raw Women's Championship on the line. Champion Charlotte Flair, the Queen, defending against former champion Nia Jax in her own right. Shayna Baszler in her corner. Winner of the match, 8 minutes and 50 seconds, and still the Raw Women's Champion, Charlotte Flair. Shayna Baszler providing a bit of a distraction, and then after the match, Alexa Bliss popped up on the Tron there, and, well, Alexa wants a title shot, and it looks like Charlotte has accepted it. And if it happens at Extreme Rules, Didi Woodson, it's going to be in Alexa's build hometown of Columbus, Ohio. Didi Woodson, it's all yours.
Yep, I got my Play Pain shirt on, so yeah, it'll go down here in Ohio, down in Columbus if it happens, but I think there's a real good chance that it might. I mean, it was a fairly good promo after the match. I'm not a big fan of Nia Jax. I didn't quite enjoy that match, but I'll give it 2 stars. We got a very angry Charlotte Flair in the deal, and we had Shayna get involved, but the after the fact there, that was very interesting having Alexa, who wasn't there last week, pop up this week after the match on the big screen, inviting Charlotte to her playground, saying that Lily wants to try on one of the robes and stuff, and Charlotte saying no. So they lights go out. All of a sudden, Alexa appears in the ring with Lily, and they end it with Charlotte saying that it's the ring is her playground. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens. But I have a feeling this is going to eventually lead to a title match, and who knows? Maybe Alexa can pull it off since she wants that title so bad, and beat Charlotte for it. Well, I don't know. We'll see. So it's yours, Florio.
Yeah. A 2.5 stars for this. They may not have been able to convincingly recreate their awkward moment from last week, but Charlotte and Nia Jax did a good job making this a physical battle. Charlotte is such a natural heel that she doesn't even have to try. Everything she does is perfectly in line with her character. She's always consistent in that way. This was a strong showing, but the outcome was telegraphed too much throughout the bout. It felt anticlimactic when Charlotte won. At least it looks like WWE may finally pull the trigger on breaking up Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. The setup for Alexa Bliss versus Charlotte Flair was well done. especially for a character that has been booked so inconsistently as of late. If they keep the supernatural stuff to a minimum, the Queen versus Alexa could be a good match. So I'll give this about 2.5 stars. And MF, like I just said, if they keep this hocus pocus stuff to a minimum, Alexa and Charlotte could have a good match. And let's not forget, like the one time we remember these two going at it, 2017 Survivor Series, Charlotte won in what was a very good match that night.
Yeah, very good match that night, and there was no doubt about it. At the time, the right woman won. Now is the time to put the title on Alexa. It's time. I think if once this match goes down, remember, there's going to be moments where Charlotte will lose the belt. She will become a transitional champion. This is one of those moments where I could see Alexa go all the way to WrestleMania with the title. I think that's going to be the plan. So for me, to do it right, either they're going to do it two ways, where maybe they have Charlotte hold it for a little bit and they continue the battle with Alexa, and then maybe they'll wait till a bigger event, maybe Survivor Series, to put the belt on Alexa. But the writing is now on the wall. Alexa Bliss is now the heir apparent, and she probably will be the next Raw Women's Champion. Her gimmick, her character is over with the fans. You heard the way that they reacted with Alexa. And I think you're going to get a little bit of the mind games. I hope they don't go too crazy with it. But at the end of the day, this will be a good matchup and it will be a good battle. But the 12-time champ might be bowing down. She might be feeling pain when it's all said and done, as we could be witnessing the dawning of a new era on Monday Night Raw, and more importantly, a crowning of a new champion, to say the very least. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on it. The match itself was all right. It was a little clumsy. It was a little out there where it wasn't perfect. But it was good. It was good for what it was worth. Nothing more to say. Mike Bullock, it's yours. I'm in an agreement about maybe 2.5.
Yeah, 2.5 for me as well. I mean, yeah, the outcome was never in doubt, but the way Charlotte won it, I mean, with a little help from Shayna Baszler of all people. I mean, part of me is like, what the hell is Shayna Baszler doing? I mean, could this be setting up for Shayna to turn on Nia Jax? I think I could see that happening, but yeah, now Charlotte's got to deal with Alexa Bliss, and I agree. If they can keep the hocus pocus to a minimum, I think these two can definitely have a really good match. And I'll even go on the record, and Dee Woodson, you'll love what I'm about to say. I think we're gonna have a new champion. I think Alexa Bliss is gonna become the new Raw Women's Champion. I mean, she's had this gimmick. I think all she needs now is that title. And I think you know who might also like it too. I think Lily would like it as well. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure Callie would probably like it as well. No doubt about it. So, yeah, so there's really nothing more for me to add to it. So, Florio, it is yours.
Okay. Then we had the 24/7 silliness, Reggie defending the 24/7 championship against Akira Tozawa. Winner of the match in 40 seconds, and still the 24/7 champion, Reggie. Yeah, worst fight of the night here. Absolute dud. Nothing more to really say there. And then the main event of the evening. Well, we have ourselves the continuation of the tag team turmoil started with Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods versus Mustafa Ali and Mansoor. Kofi and Xavier winning that match in 4 minutes and 15 seconds. And then from there, it was AJ Styles and Omos. And it was AJ and Omos who won the match 17 minutes and 25 seconds. Total of 21:40 for the second run. And then the final team was Bobby Lashley and MVP. Lashley and MVP win the tag team turmoil, a total of 6 minutes and 10 seconds. Total overall of 27 minutes and 50 seconds. Bobby Lashley, MVP. They win the tag team turmoil. They get the opportunity at Randy Orton and Riddle for the Raw Tag Team Championship. And that match, I can confirm, will take place next Monday night on Raw from the TD Garden in Boston. So, all right. So getting back to this now, the final portion of this match featured more great action. The outcome was predictable, but how we got there was a fun ride. The New Day lasting so long will definitely keep them in the conversation for a future tag title opportunity. I would probably give this overall, I could probably give this about 4.5 stars altogether. I mean, I pretty much had my say on it. So, but Lashley and MVP get the win. They will challenge RK Bro for the titles next week in Boston. So, but wait, speaking of repetitiveness on Monday Night Raw, I think this is one time MF will not mind the repetitiveness, because MF, for the second week in a row, Randy Orton with an RKO out of nowhere on Bobby Lashley, and like our lead commentator Jimmy Smith said 5 times tonight. What?
Yeah, absolutely. Total combined time of both parts over 57 minutes of professional wrestling. That is incredible. 27 minutes on the first part, almost a half an hour on the other. It was over 57 minutes altogether. If that was, I mean, that's you're talking 4.5 on both. That's a combined 4.5. Yes, the break kind of started at the 4, but the way that we got to the end, it was still incredible. The Iron Man in this one was the New Day. Absolutely amazing performance, crowd-pleasing performance. It was predictable that they got knocked out by AJ and Omos. But I'm a little surprised that they gave it to Lashley and MVP. I was a little surprised that they were the ones to get it all together. Actually, Anthony just confirmed it. 58:05 total time. So, I mean, yeah, that again, 4.5 to 4 3/4. Obviously, you can't give it the 5, but without a doubt, fight of the night, one of the best matches that Raw has done. It's even better than the first Turmoil match. I think it's better than the singles, what they did not too long ago. So for me, incredible performance. Monday Night Raw, take a bow. You did amazing tonight. You absolutely hit a home run here. This WWE fan was thoroughly impressed, and I'm not that hard to impress, especially being a SmackDown guy. But no, you killed it tonight. Amazing job. And now Boston, we're about 90 minutes from where we are. They're about 90 minutes from us, from our part, from Anthony Florio, from Michael Bullock, and from my hometown. We're from Rhode Island. we're about, like I said, we're about maybe 75 to 90 minutes from Boston, Massachusetts, and they're about to get an incredible main event with a tag team main event that's going to be, who knows how that's going to play out. So this could be a very exciting week for WWE. Friday being in Madison Square Garden, then you're going to another staple of WWE territory, Monday Night Raw in Boston, Massachusetts. Yes, it's the TD Garden, not the Boston Garden, but still, there's some legendary moments in Boston. There's some incredible wrestling in Beantown. Beantown, get ready. It's going to be lit on Monday night, and I can't wait to see it happen. So, Michael Bullock, it's yours. 4.5 to 4.75 for this entire tag team turmoil match.
Yeah, 4.5 stars overall for the tag team turmoil. I mean, this was definitely a really good way. I mean, yeah, Bobby Lashley and MVP win it, and now they get the shots at the tag titles next week. So yeah, I mean, I think Monday Night Raw should definitely be proud of themselves for the way they did this tag team turmoil. So yeah, so there's really nothing more to add. So Judy Woodson, it is yours.
Yeah, I can agree with the rating, and Creamy would probably say it's about 3 to 4 paws. So yeah, it was fairly good. So yeah, they did a good job compared to some of the other tag team turmoils, and this was a good way to book in Raw, open and close it, and um, yeah, we're all not really super surprised that it's going to be Lashley and MVP versus our tag champs, Orton and Riddle. What I think was the big draw of the night was actually seeing Lashley and almost tie it up and even do the test of strength between the two of them. So yeah, I mean, there's not much more I'm going to add. It's yours, Florio.
All right. So overall review, I believe MF starts it off. MF, I mean, Monday Night Raw had to do something after the epic AEW All Out pay-per-view last night, which we will have a lot to say about on Wednesday night. But how did WWE fare after that epic night last night in Chicago?
I gotta say, they did a very good job. Look, it wasn't perfect. Um, it wasn't the, it wasn't. I want to say the best. It wasn't the best, but still, solid show. Easily for me, 7.5. Easy for me, 7.5 out of 10. Yeah, there was a couple of moments that I think we could have done without, but like the 24/7 nonsense and everything else, we could have done without that. But all in all, great show, tremendous show. Well done, Monday Night Raw. You absolutely did a very good job. And now all roads leads to Madison Square Garden in New York. Yes, there's NXT, but let's be realistic, guys. NXT is a different animal. It's got its own identity. Monday Night Raw, WWE, everybody knows the Garden is next. And this has the makings of being, without a doubt, the show of the year for WWE. They are hyping this so much that if this fails, this could really devastate WWE as a whole, as a product. A lot of people are looking for him to fall flat on their faces. This, without a doubt, after what has happened with AEW and everything that went down with All Out, they need water cooler stuff to break out at Madison Square Garden in New York. So we'll see how this plays out on Friday. This needs to be the show of the year just to survive. So nothing more to say. Bullock, 7.5 for me.
Yeah, 7.5 for me as well. I mean, like you said, WWE had to respond. And they did with this good edition of Monday Night Raw after a phenomenal AEW All Out, which, like you said, we'll have plenty to say on Wednesday night. But it wasn't the perfect show, but it was definitely a good enough show. So, yeah, now all eyes turn to Madison Square Garden for SmackDown, especially with the big things that are definitely going down. The Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar, returning. You also have Edge against Seth Rollins one more time. You got a contract signing with Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair. And Florio, what happens when there's a contract signing?
It ain't gonna end well.
And I got a feeling it ain't going to end well this
And I'm
Friday night.
going to give you another bold prediction. I think this is where Becky cements the heel turn right here.
I agree with you. I think this is where where Becky Lynch is going to cement that heel turn. I mean, in the beginning, I did have some doubts about it, but I don't think there's going to be any doubts this time around. So after what's going to come on Friday night, so yeah, you better hope that this SmackDown really delivers. So there's really nothing more to say. Dee Woodson, it is yours.
Yeah, it was a fairly good show. I could do the 7.5 for the show. It wasn't entirely all bad, but there was a lot of slow points. There was some things that aren't even really worth mentioning, but there was also a lot of storyline and pay-per-view progression, plus even probably a little bit of progression into the next coming weeks leading up to the pay-per-view. It was very well done show for what was worth. And yeah, we do have a big SmackDown coming up, and there's a lot of questions tied into SmackDown too, like where does Heyman's loyalty going to lie when it comes to Lesnar and the Tribal Chief? Because right now he's kind of in a way playing both fields, and Roman asked a lot of good questions Friday, so we'll have to see where that goes. We'll have to see where the Raw is going to be inserted into this the show. Is it going to be like Fletch said, a Raw, the Raw team of Nikki and Rhea versus the SmackDown team? Are we going to have maybe all three teams in the ring for a confrontation? Just to say something about we've earned number one, we've earned number one. We'll have to wait and see what happens. But I wouldn't be surprised at anyone who would show up on this historic SmackDown coming up. So not much more I'm going to add. Hopefully, if everything goes well, I will see you all Friday. So good night, guys.
All right, good night, Dee Dee. We'll see you Friday night, hopefully, for that huge Super SmackDown and AEW Rampage and whatever else is on the pipeline. But anyways, 7.5 out of 10, absolutely. What a great night for Monday Night Raw on a holiday, no less. Usually when you think holiday, you think throwaway show, but oh no, they loaded the show up. I had some doubts, but boy, how did they! I was pleasantly surprised with how great this show turned out tonight. That tag team turmoil match, maybe the greatest one I've ever seen. And Sheamus and McIntyre deliver again, and some other good things. And they kept the nonsense to a minimum, which is very welcome. So, yeah, Miami. I'm going to channel. I'm going to make MF very happy here. I'm going to channel that legendary Dolphin radio announcer. All right, Miami. Well done. So 7.5 out of 10. Very good. So hopefully we can keep it rolling in Boston next week. But it's not going to be easy because because for the rest of this calendar year, starting next week, for the rest of the calendar year, Monday Night Raw is going to be combated by Monday Night Football, and it starts next week. The Baltimore Ravens and the Las Vegas Raiders from the home of SummerSlam, Allegiant Stadium. So get ready for that. All right, Tony's take real quick. Started off with Impact Wrestling, and we started it off with the BTI match, Jake Something versus John Skyler. Jake Something wins in 12 minutes and 45 seconds, 2.5 stars. Started slow, but picked up pretty nicely. Skyler got more offense than I would have thought, but it turned out into being a very solid BTI match. Then we had in the opening match a 6-person tag team match: Madison Rain, Tennille Dashwood, and Caleb with a K, The Influence, squaring off against Taylor Wilde, Jordan Grace, and Rachel Ellering. The Influence wins the match. The babyface team wins in 5 minutes and 2 seconds. That's Taylor, Jordan, and Rachel. 2.25 stars. Mostly a comedy match, but it worked fine in that capacity. All the girls look pretty good here, and Caleb was a good foil. Decay, Crazy Steve, and Black Taurus against Falaba and No Way, formerly No Way Jose. Decay wins the match, 6 minutes and 39 seconds. This was the worst fight of the night. It was slow, plodding, not good. Comedy stuff worked okay, but No Way and Boss timing is way off, and it didn't help. 1 3/4 star. Then we had Josh Alexander versus Jake Crist. Josh Alexander issuing an open challenge for the X Division title. Jake Crist answered the challenge, but Josh Alexander successfully defended. 5 minutes and 36 seconds, 2.5 stars. One of the better Crist matches I've seen. Nice to see him back. He's a solid journeyman, and Alexander's reign of dominance continues. Then we had another unique matchup, another unique intergender mixed match here. We had Rohit Raju and Mahabali Shera squaring off against Matt Cardona and Chelsea Green. Rohit Raju and Mahabali Shera, 3 minutes and 24 seconds. This was the other worst fight of the night. 1 3/4 stars again. No time to develop into anything, but what we got was fine. Then we had Tommy Dreamer versus Ace Austin. And if Tommy Dreamer won the match, Tommy Dreamer would get added to the world title match with Christian Cage and Ace Austin at the Victory Road special on September 18. Not going to happen. Ace Austin won the match in roughly 7 minutes and 10 seconds, 2.5 stars. Dreamer should not be getting that much offense against Ace Austin, but otherwise it was a good match between the two. Not blow away, but it did the job it needed to do for the most part. 6 out of 10, perfectly fine episode of Impact, but ultimately a pretty skippable one. Pretty typical matches, some good, some too short to mean anything, and a few developments toward Victory Road, but nothing essential outside of the X Division title match being set. I didn't hate this show, but it wasn't horribly must-see either. Thursday night on Impact Wrestling on Access TV, or for those of you YouTube insiders out there, Rich Swann is going to face Carl Anderson in a bunkhouse brawl. Oh, my goodness. We haven't seen anything like that since the WCW days in the 90s. My goodness.
Oh, my God. Bunkhouse brawl. Oh, God, that brings back so many memories.
Dustin Rhodes.
Oh, yeah.
And what about, or I'll do you one better. The master of it, Bunkhouse Buck.
Yep.
I mean, that's exactly right, MF. Carl Anderson and the Machine Gun, Carl Anderson and Rich Swann, Thursday night on Impact Wrestling in a bunkhouse brawl.
Woo.
Thoughts?
Impact. You're warming my heart again. That's one of those type of matches that for any professional wrestling fan, if they do this right, it's gonna be a great match. If they do this right, it's gonna, oh my God. I hope so, man.
Yep. So if you don't have Access TV, there is a way you can get this. It's on YouTube. The Impact, it's called Impact Insider, and if you sign up for that, you only have to pay $1 a month. It's 99 cents a month. That's it, just one little buck, and you'll get to see Impact Wrestling on demand in its entirety. So that's something I think MF should seriously consider, unless he has another idea in mind. But that's really the best way I can think of. But anyways, that's what will happen. Bunkhouse Brawl, Rich Swann, Carl Anderson. In addition to that, Steve Macklin goes one-on-one with Petey Williams. Chris Bay goes one-on-one with David Finlay. Rosemary goes one-on-one with Tasha Steelz. And in the main event, Moose versus Eddie Edwards in a Be a Man fight. Let's go. So that all goes down Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, Access TV for those who have it. And if you don't, I strongly encourage you all to sign up for the Impact Insiders package on YouTube on the Impact Wrestling channel. $1 a month. That's all. So there is another plan, but that's $5 a month. But that's for all the good stuff. But if you just want Impact Wrestling, go for that simple plan. And you only have to do $1 a month. That's it. All right. 205 Live. And we actually did something very rare on this show. We had a women's match on this show. Yeah. Hard to believe, but it's true. Cora Jade went up against Amari Miller, and Amari Miller wins in 5 minutes and 25 seconds. Just a very basic match that didn't overstay its welcome. The final minute or so started to pick up before the sudden ending. 1.5 stars. And then we had, and then back to the men, Josh Briggs versus Joe Gacy. Joe Gacy in 8 minutes and 56 seconds. They're now 1-1 against each other on 205 Live, and you got to believe there'll be a rubber match. First half of the match was kind of a drag, and they started unloading on each other before the finish, 2 stars. And then we had a third match, Andre Chase versus Zion Quinn. Zion Quinn, 4 minutes, 36 seconds. They obviously see something in Quinn compared to other newbies that have been popping up on the show. I knew it was going to be short since they went with a 3-match format, which is a shame, because of the 3, this had the best chance to turn into something good. The plan, though, was to put Quinn over strong, and that's what happened here. We'll see where they go with him. Another 2-star effort. 5.5 out of 10. The 3-match format has never worked for this show, and that holds true this week as well. The order of matches seemed off, too, as Gacy Briggs was the hype match and went twice as long as anything else, but was sandwiched between 2 5-minute bouts. Not a fan of the new direction of the show, and hopefully they'll go back to the 2-match format this week, so we'll see. So 5.5 out of 10 there. And that will put the bow on this edition of Ridiculously Raw. We want to thank you all so very much for tuning in. We'll be back with you on Wednesday night. Now, MF, are we going to do the all-out review at the jump of Mayhem Wednesday night?
We are doing the all-out review at Jump, yes. So All Out's going to start it off. NXT behind that. And then, of course, Dynamite, the fallout from All Out. And we're just going to say it, guys. Buckle your seatbelts when it comes to All Out.
Yes.
You probably already heard what went down. You probably already know of all the bombs that got dropped. I'm just going to say it. 2 moments on the entire card, on the entire event, shocked me. Like, absolutely floored me. Had me going basically crazy like a madman. I was definitely bouncing like Tigger on a couple of moments on All Out. One that I know Ferreira definitely jumped on me with, that we both could not believe happened, but it happened. Let's just say the Forbidden Door swung open again.
Yep.
And boys, this is probably the biggest Forbidden Door reveal to date. It's that big. It's massive.
Yep.
I'll go into it. I'll talk about that. And there was something that also was added where I need to go professor mode.
Oh.
So I'll get into that. Everything. That's on Wednesday night. Of course, NXT as well. This is the final week of NXT as we know it under this former format before it goes into that transition phase that a lot of people's a little on edge about. We're a lot of people are nervous about this. So and they're rightfully need to. We'll address that elephant in the room on Wednesday. And then of course the fallout from Dynamite and then the fallout on Dynamite from the craziness that happened on All Out. Is there any more bombs that AEW has up their sleeves? Like they already have us like falling out of our chairs, yelling, and we're about to wave the white flag. Like, okay, no mas, you killed us. You can't go any more bigger than what you just did. Is it possible? Does Tony Khan have yet another ace in the sleeve that we don't know about? We're just gonna have to wait and find out. So, yeah. I mean, you never know. Now, expect the unexpected with AEW. Anything from now on. It doesn't matter if it's Dynamite, if it's Rampage. You have to have your eyes on that TV because you never know what they could pull next. I mean, this was this whole month of AEW has been the best month they've ever had when it comes to PR, publicity, water cooler, you name it. They've just been killing it for the last month or so. How are they going to top it? We'll see. 10:30 Wednesday night. Can't come soon enough, but trust me, guys, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be an awesome show.
Absolutely, and we all can't wait for that. And if you thought that was great, wait till Thursday night when we get into week 2 of College Football Thursday with another huge headline matchup: Oregon versus Ohio State. Whoa, what a game that's going to be in the Horseshoe on Saturday afternoon. And we also have the Battle of Iowa and Iowa State. They're going to go at it. So another double main event and some other great action as well. We also have a few sleepers in there as well. So we'll get into that on Thursday for week 2, College Football Thursday. And then Friday, of course, we have the Cerebral Smack Talk at our new start time of 11, the Super Smackdown from Madison Square Garden, plus AEW Rampage, which features Pac and Andrade El Idolo, the match that we were supposed to get it all out, but didn't because of Pac's travel issues. So we'll get into that. And then Saturday night, the season premiere of Strictly Sports NFL Saturday. Time to be determined. We'll figure that out. But and then right back here next week for another edition of Ridiculously Raw as we inch closer to the Extreme Rules pay-per-view. So that's it. So until Wednesday night for the huge Wednesday Night Mayhem, this is Anthony Florio on behalf of the panel, Good Old MF Michael Fletcher, the Phenom Michael Bullock, the First Lady of the Wrestling Forum, the Twisted Angel Didi Woodson, and of course, always and forever, the Yankee Messiah 401, Derek Ferreira. You know the routine, everybody. Thumbs up. Talk to you later. Yeah, throw it a Fortune 4 style. Bye for now, my friends. God bless. Be good to each other. Have a blessed couple of days. And until Wednesday night for Wednesday Night Mayhem, you've been watching Ridiculously Raw right here on the Tone 25 on YouTube and StreamYard.com. And remember, my friends, no matter what anyone tells you, beyond anything else, wrestling is indeed actually real. For everybody who has been a part of this one, for now, Anthony Florio, so long. Bye, everybody. Bye.